Bruce, first of all, introduce yourself. Tell us your name and what you do.
Yeah. Bruce Battles, Technical Agronomy Manager within Golden Harvest, located here at our Slater, Iowa location.
Well, what we want to talk about with Golden Harvest is you have a research-based agronomic guide that farmers can use. Tell us a little bit about what kind of insights they find through that.
Yeah, so we're a big believer within Golden Harvest that a lot of people cover understanding genetics and genetics interaction to environment, which is extremely important. But we try to take it one step farther within our Golden Harvest brand and better understand how hybrids respond to different management practices, really that third leg of the stool that often gets overlooked. And so we have a dedicated research program that focuses on all kinds of agronomic things. We look at basic trials that are the newest biological products in the market, the newest general management, managing cover crops and those kind of things. But a lot of our hybrid or trials are focused around hybrids and how they respond. So specifically, one of the things we've done is look at how hybrids respond to fertility and specifically in the placement of fertilizer. So a lot of people manage their fertilizer differently. Some broadcast, some are doing banded type of applications. And what we've learned is hybrids really respond differently to that due to the way that they grow and the root architecture and all those things and the way they can uptake nutrients. And so that's one real good example of how we bring a lot of the research to life into hybrid placement discussions.
So this is an actual guide that you put together and did for this year. When you started it out, I understand you surveyed growers?
We did, yeah. So, rather just going out and shooting in the dark and trying to do something we think is important, right? We really want to understand what our customers feel are important. So that was one of the things we surveyed 100 growers in the Midwest, just totally random, not even customers of ours today. And some of them were and some of them weren't. But it was really interesting when we asked, specifically around how they're looking and getting information, and if they felt like having hybrid-specific information was important or not. 84% of them, so almost all of them, unanimously said it's extremely important. But it was really interesting when we asked, like, okay, are you doing something? Are you managing your specific hybrids down to that level based on recommendations coming from somebody or knowledge that you've learned around management styles? And most said, over half of them said they weren't. And so we really feel like that probably the breakdown in that is the lack of information. By the time, if they were to do that on their own and go out and try to play researcher on their own farm, those hybrids are probably obsolete by the time they've dialed in specific management practices and how individual hybrids respond. So we're trying to take that step out and give them a starting point. We realize that there's still a room and a need to kind of experiment some on your own farm, but we're giving them a starting point around basic things like fungicide response, seeding rate responses, fertilizer placement and the response to that versus a broadcast application. Those three things in particular are what we've really focused on last year.
Well, it seems like it's a very comprehensive guide with focusing on a lot of different topics. What are some of those, and then how do farmers get it? Or they understand it's like a download, right?
Right, yeah, so there's a couple of ways that farmers can access our information, right? Obviously, one of the best ways is to work through our extensive network of seed advisors, and we have a support cast of local agronomists, and it's always nice to have those face-to-face interactions, have somebody explain things to you. But we also have an extensive library of all of our content online at the Golden Harvest website. So if they go to the Golden Harvest website, they can easily access that. And then we annually publish each and every year, we publish what we call our research review, which has a complete compilation of everything we did that year, and we make that available in hard copy. We have those on hand here today that visitors in the tent can take one of those home today if they haven't received it yet. But just depends on your learning style, and if you're a reader or if you want to listen, one of the two, we've got a different avenue for every way to access that information.
All right, well, thank you very much, Bruce, for visiting with me here, talking about the Golden Harvest Agronomy in Action Research Review. And here from the Farm Progress Show, I'm Chuck Zimmerman.